Hey everyone, this is Sunglass Rob from SportRx, and we are here to talk about the different tire sizes, wheel sizes on mountain bikes. We got a couple of experts in the house. We got Phil Metz, professional downhill racer and YouTube extraordinaire, Skills with Phils, check it out. And we got Stephane Roch, who is an endurance, cross-country mountain bike racer and really, really fast on a bike. And we want to talk about the differences between the 27.5, the 27.5 plus, and the 29er bikes. Those are kind of the three common tire size, wheel sizes out there now. There's a lot of opinions, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of controversy, and I don't really know, is there really a right answer or just kind of like what you want to get?
There's no right answer because there's many different variables that factors into what is best for you. You know, if you're looking for more of an endurance-based sport or riding, usually you might want to go with more of like a 29er, but that doesn't mean a 29er is always the right answer. You want to take it from here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's really benefits to these different wheel sizes. And the benefits of a 29er, the reason why it's so good for distance riding is it tends to hold momentum a lot better. The other thing is you find 29er wheels on more what we call cross-country bikes that don't have as much suspension travel, so that big wheel actually rolls over obstacles a lot better than a smaller wheel would, making that lower travel bike feel a lot smoother, okay, and efficient as well. Now, there's some guys like Phil that are, you know, very extreme and do lots of tricks. That big wheel can be very cumbersome and not easy to throw around. So they like to maybe run a 27.5-inch wheel, which is a little bit more playful, a little funner, especially if you're
nimble is my word.
Yeah. Nimble, very good, very good.
Not that I'm nimble,
yeah.
But at least my tire size is.
That's the industry term.
Yeah.
I think the one thing we should clarify is sometimes you might hear the term 650B. 650B is just another term for 27.5, and that can just get very confusing. I think most people have kind of just settled on using the term 27.5.
You ride 27.5, I take.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I come from the, not to throw another confusion, but like we came from 26 and evolved into 27.5, and that's where we are now. But recently, a new one has come to the mix, which is 27 plus. And that one's a little bit confusing because it would appear that it's smaller like the 27.5, but it's actually about the same diameter as a 29er. And you're probably wondering, how does that happen? Well, it's actually because the tire itself is bigger. So the rim is about a 27.5, and then the tire is just a much bigger tire. So you actually get a little bit more, I don't want to use suspension as a term, but it's a little bit more suspension cushion on the trail from the actual volume of tire.
It's more forgiving.
It's absolutely, like it's easier to get a little bit of traction because you can run a lower tire pressure. So a lot of times I might personally recommend someone who's a little bit new to the sport, maybe to check out a plus size bike because it will be a little bit less frustrating to get into.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, if you're looking for a bike, especially just getting into it, like Phil said, that's going to really take care of you and be a safe bike, the 27.5 plus is a great option for you. What do you ride, Rob?
I have a 27.5 and I have a 2.4 inch diameter bike, which is about as wide as I can go. I feel like the sweet spot is somewhere between regular 27.5 and 27.5 plus. Like, I'm not sure if my bike will hold a 2.8, but I really want to play with the 2.8 diameter. It gets really confusing. I think for me, the lower tire pressure is really nice just because I'm a bigger guy. I already need more tire pressure. So having a tire that can lower it a little bit gives me a little bit more traction. I've demoed some 29ers and I came from a 26. So I had a 15-year-old bike, and just about the last couple of years, I've regained a passion for mountain biking. And the 29er to me it felt a little hard to throw around. It felt a little like I almost couldn't keep it on the trail, but it almost didn't matter because the wheels were so big, it would go over anything anyway. So it doesn't matter if you can't hold your line as well because it'll just roll over anything. But where I ride, it's a lot of ins and outs, and I just feel like I could get a little bit more acceleration with the 27.5, and I'm not a fast rider anyway, so it's not like I'm getting to a high speed to then have the 29er hold the high speed. So for me, didn't make as much sense for a 29er. Does height have anything to do with it, guys?
It does and it doesn't. Most bikes are, you can get a geometry that should be able to fit you. Like, most people should be able to ride a 29er. However, some companies find that like they just can't make the geometry suitable for a small person with a 29er wheel. So I believe Giant and Trek actually sometimes stay more on the 27.5 side for cross-country riders who just have a small stature.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So I really think that, think about your riding style and think also about the terrain that you're going to be on and use that kind of as a guide to what wheel size you should get. If you're really like to do long distance riding, again, the 29er is probably the way to go. If you like to be more playful, 27.5 would be the way to go. And if you really want a lot of traction control comfort, a bike that's going to take care of you, 27.5 plus may be your answer there.
So like I said, we didn't answer all the questions because this is the forever debate. So feel free to debate down there in the comment sections. If you want more information about all things mountain biking and watch some really fun videos, check out Phil's YouTube channel, Skills with Phil. His Instagram is also amazing. Stephane's also on Instagram. It's at Swiss Mountain Biker, which is MTN, and that's a fun one to watch as well. And we're in California Bicycles in beautiful La Jolla. They have an Instagram. It's at Cal Bikes, and this is one of the nicest bike shops I've ever seen. So
thank you very much, guys.
Check out California Bikes if you're ever in La Jolla, and yeah, go out there and get dirty.